Hi friends! Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be creating the first part of our two-part project. Our project this week is going to revolve around Peruvian textiles, so blankets and rugs and all those beautiful patterns and colors you see. Hopefully you guys were able to pick out some of those characteristics when we watched our video yesterday, and there's a story today that goes along with our project. The end result is going to have us drawing llamas and putting it on the background of a Peruvian textile. So my llama, I didn't glue it down yet. I want to show you guys how to make the textile or the blanket first, okay? And as you guys can see, I tried to pick out colors that I saw in the video and designs that I saw in the video. So we see a lot of geometric designs. Geometric, that just means things like circles, squares, rectangles. We have a lot of repeating lines. And as you guys can see, it's kind of done in strips of patterns down the paper. So we're going to be using our oil pastels. We're going to draw with our oil pastels first, and then we're going to be using our watercolor right on top. And as you guys probably know by now, because we've done a couple of projects where we do oil pastel and watercolor, the oil pastel stays, the watercolor goes right onto the paper in the background, and it makes a really beautiful piece of artwork that we'll later put our llamas on. And as you guys can see, I drew this llama, and then later on this week, we're going to be practicing drawing llamas as best we can. And of course, you guys can make them extra hilarious. So today our goal is we want to have something that looks like this. We want to find colors and patterns that we can put onto our piece of paper. So we're going to need a white piece of paper like this, and to start, we're going to make sure that we have oil pastels of all colors. If you don't have oil pastels handy, that's okay. Crayons would work too. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I just want to select some really bright colors. That's one of the characteristics I saw in the Peruvian textiles in my video that I showed you guys. You see a lot of bright colors, so I'm going to start out with something like, ooh, this orange here. And so what I'll do is I'm just going to start out with different kinds of patterns that I can put throughout my Peruvian textile, and I'm going to do it in strips. So I'm going to do a line, and if I want to, I can break this up and do like more than one color. You want to just make it interesting. So there's one section, maybe over here, I'm going to do like another one that's got a little bit of a ocean wave theme going on, and I'm going to add maybe another green with it, like a squiggle. Okay, and then another line. And I do think it would be good to see if I can add some geometric shapes. So I'm going to try to do some squares. You know how to draw squares by now, but these are kind of boring. I think I'm going to go in there and add something else on the inside. Maybe we can add a little circle inside, polka dots. All right, looking good so far. This is going to be really beautiful. And the more colors you guys use, the better. So we really do want this to be colorful. So I'm going to try little loop-de-loops. You guys don't have to copy mine. I would love it if you came up with your own stuff, with your own fabulous designs. Next, maybe I'll do some triangles. Okay, we're looking good. And these triangles, kind of boring. I want to add some more stuff to them. Let's see. I think we haven't used any yellow yet, so I'm going to try maybe 3 lines in between. And I color the inside a little bit. Oh, I broke it. Oh, no, that's okay. Remember, when you guys break your oil pastels, they still work. All that means is you have 2 now. Oh, again. All right, and then maybe I gotta come up with something down here. What colors haven't I used yet? Ooh, I think, we could use a little bit of this orange maybe. Let's try that. I think I should use, what's a good pattern I can do? I like this line thing I got going on here. I'm gonna do a series of 3 lines, and I'm gonna come back and do it in a different direction, maybe with a different color. All right, this is looking pretty cool. You want to really fill your space. So you don't have a lot of space with nothing. You want to make sure there's interesting colors, designs, patterns. This is looking pretty good so far. My whole piece of paper is full. I have wonderful color. My next step is I'm going to paint. Okay, so I did it in strips because then it helps me figure out where to change my colors. So in this case, I'm going to have my watercolors, a paintbrush, and a little cup of water. Okay. And again, just like with some of our previous projects, if you guys want to mix colors or if you want to really, it's up to you on how you want to go about this. I think the opposite of red is going to be blue. So I want to find colors that are going to look really interesting on top of each other. You really, oh, this is so pretty. Hopefully you guys can see. I will hold this up at the end too, but we're going to try to go quick so you guys aren't watching this video forever. But every single part of your piece of paper should be colored. So let's make sure it all gets painted. Oh, this looks cool. Opposite of green is red. So I think red and orange would look really cool on this next section here. And it's okay if your colors blend, and it's okay if they kind of mix with one another. But oil pastel does do a nice job keeping your colors in the sections that you created. That's why I like to use this technique. It helps with your brush control. It helps you guys keep your colors where you want them. And, oh, this is looking really good. I'm going to add a little yellow down here. And again, you don't have to copy my colors. You guys can do whatever you think will look beautiful. All right, a little yellow. Notice I add some more water to my brush every once in a while. If your brush isn't moving around your paint, that means you got to add some water. Let's see, down here, let's try, how about a little purple? We haven't really done any purple yet. And we really want this piece of paper to look very colorful. Color is a good thing for this project. Okay, wonderful. If you guys don't have watercolor at home, you guys can always go ahead and use other things. So remember your markers. If you use markers and then you paint them with just water, that will turn into a paint. And if you want, you guys can color it with oil pastels all over the place. Or you can use colored pencil, really whatever. You just want to make sure your piece of paper gets colored beautifully. Let's see, I like this blue. I think I'm going to do a blue and purple mixed together down here. See if I can mix the two together. Something different. Blue and purple mixed. I'm seeing a lot of blue, not a lot of purple, but that's okay. It's still really beautiful, rich color. Very nice. And you guys see how the oil pastel stays. And it really does look beautiful. Oh my goodness. All right, we got one more section here, and I'm trying to think of what happened we used it. We need green. We haven't used any green yet. There we go. That's the ticket. Okay. Green and yellow would look really pretty together. See what I'm doing, folks? You don't have to stick with just one color if you don't want to. I love this like blending of colors. It's so much more interesting. Fantastic. And watercolors, you guys can always go back and paint on top of your old work. So up here, if I have this blue and I'm like, it's kind of boring, maybe I want to add some blue and green, you can do that. See that? I can go back and fix it, add some more color on top of the old color. It's just important that you make sure everything is dry before you do that. Otherwise, your paper's going to be all soaking wet and fall apart. It'll be a mess. So if you're going to go back and paint something again, let it dry first. Woohoo! This is looking so good. I can't wait to see how it looks when it's all dry. It's very pretty. Very nice. Okay. Oh my gosh. Can I hold this up? I'm going to be very careful when I hold it up because I don't want it to drip yet. But I do want you guys to see. This is going to be really fabulous. It's going to be a wonderful background for your llama. And once it's dry, if you feel like adding some fringe to the edges so it looks like a fancy blanket, you guys can do that. You don't have to. I'll show you how to do that tomorrow. All right, friends, post your progress. Put your beautiful Peruvian blanket on Seesaw. I cannot wait to see how these look.